All right, guys, I thought I might give you a little bit of a rundown here on what is going on with impeachment. Some of you may have seen they made some announcements about it, so let me give you a rundown. So there was officially, I guess, 3 impeachments for Andy Beshear. There was 2, one of which, as you guys know, I was involved with from the Kentucky Liberty PAC that dropped off 70,000 signatures. These were not affidavits. These were not signatures signed with a notary or anything like that. So it was obvious and expected that these would be dismissed right away. This was a sign of support. There was an additional 35,000 dropped off by Take Back Kentucky. Same situation. They were not signed, notarized petitions. They were just a petition. And so that was more of a sign to the impeachment committee that there was 105,000 Kentuckians who signed and stated they were in support of impeachment, to the point where they signed it, we printed it off and gave it to them. That is a substantial amount in the world of politics. That is the most Kentucky's ever seen. And this is the kind of stuff that shows just where impeachment's falling. Now, let's talk about the original petition, though. The 4 petitioners who did it, myself, now 3 petitioners who did it correct, myself, one of them, Tony Wheatley, and Jacob Clark. This petition here, I just kind of map out where it went. We alleged the charges. The governor responded with a defense. We responded taking down his defense. Out of that back and forth, the impeachment committee came out with 2 issues and situations they wanted to investigate, they wanted to look at. And one was the travel ban, and one was the church ban. Now, the reason why they wanted to look at it was twofold. The church ban, especially, one, you don't need a great, gigantic understanding of the Constitution to know in the United States of America, writing tickets to people who go to church might be an infringement on your First Amendment rights. I don't think you had to be a great legal scholar to figure that one out. The other part of it was not only is there a natural understanding in America that you don't write tickets to people for going to church, but additionally as well, KSP had communicated with the governor stating that this was a First Amendment right, and the governor said, I don't care, go anyways, and then also sent out a list of churches for KSP to target. Now, the reason why we know this is from the open records requests involved in the church case. And in the travel ban, we saw a similar thing. And so what the impeachment committee asked Andy Beshear for was all records involved. So we just got to see the open records request. That's all the evidence we have available to us as petitioners. But what they were asking for was all the communications, whether it was privileged, redacted, what have you. They wanted to see all of it. And the governor responded with a letter saying that it is not the committee's job to investigate. It is the committee's job to see if our petition has merit and then move on with their lives. Which is really odd and strange, because to put that in perspective, that is like if somebody broke into your house, you have videotape of them breaking into the house. You then bring that videotape to the police, and now the police aren't able in court to, the prosecutor in court isn't allowed to use any evidence from anywhere else that they gathered once they became aware of the crime, because they can only do it based upon the evidence brought to them by the original victim. That makes no sense. But yet the governor still said that the impeachment committee doesn't have the ability to investigate. Well, I tell you this much, Governor, the impeachment committee does have the power of subpoena. And so what they've announced that they're doing is they're going to send you a letter. Now, I don't know what that letter is going to say, but I'm going to have to say something like this. Give us the information, or we're going to subpoena you. Give us the information, or we're going to add obstruction of House business onto these 2 other impeachment charges, and we're going to move it forward because you will not give us the information we are asking for, which is a crime. It is an obstruction of House business to do so. They also said they're sending a letter to Cameron. I'm unsure if that is about Cameron's impeachment hearing, which Cameron responded to that. What's funny is that they tried to attack Cameron for attacking the petitioners, but based on what I read, he didn't attack the petitioners. What he pointed out was that they didn't file their paperwork properly, which is a problem. And so, anyways, I don't know what the letter they're sending to Daniel Cameron involves the impeachment of Andy Beshear and asking him exactly what they can do, or if it has to do with the impeachment petition filed against him, I am unaware and I do not know. So where we are now is they're giving the governor till Monday to respond with these documents to the letter. That's what they stated. They haven't posted the letter yet. As soon as they do, I will make sure I post it up online for you guys to see, and request that the governor respond and with the information. And if he doesn't respond with the information, I have to tell you, I think that is definitely grounds where we have to add impeachment for House business. Obstruction of House business, or at least subpoena the guy. I would like to have seen him subpoena him right away, but of course, I understand that what politicians are going to politic. But at the same time, what is interesting, I guess, is as you watch this unfold, I don't know what the governor's thinking. I mean, politically speaking, I have no clue what the governor's thinking. You have a situation, you have an impeachment committee formed. They have clearly found 2 charges that they like the looks of, meaning they think that if what we're alleging is true, you broke the law, that's impeachable. And they want to find out how bad it goes. And your response to them is kick rocks. I'm not giving it to you. You know that that's obstruction of House business. You're a lawyer, right? You know, Governor, that they can subpoena you, but you tell them that they're not allowed to investigate. Meanwhile, a law that every single Republican pretty much that one house ran on passing, a law to rein you in gets passed, and then you file suit in a weird way. You file suit, and what ends up happening is you file suit. Judge Shepard puts a hold on it for 30 days. The legislator's already upset about that too as well. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is the story of the impeachment of Andy Beshear, if at the end of all this, Andy Beshear is impeached, is it going to be the story of how a bunch of Kentuckians came together and pushed it? I think so. But it's also going to be equally a story about how Andy Beshear impeached himself by being an idiot. You got to respond to the impeachment committee. You can't keep disrespecting the legislator. And at some point, because if you keep disrespecting them, guess what we get to do, Andy? We get to call them out for not having a backbone. And that is not what you want your prosecutors, your investigators, to be being called out for, is being weak people. You need them to be feel like they can proceed in a justified manner, and you do that by responding properly and legally when they ask for it, like we have.